walk the talk. India must ensure regulatory certainty while seeking to woo global investors. So right now India is in great need of global investors. It is in great need of other people investing in it so that our economy could rise. So to so India must ensure regulatory certainty for that. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent address at a virtual global investor roundtable was delivered as is what with inimitable energy and trademark alliterative phrases. So Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi had recently given a speech at a virtual global investor roundtable. Once it was a virtual meeting, it's not like all the people gathered there and they held a meeting. It's through some app. Pitching India as the ideal destination, he stressed that the country offered a country offered a gamut of benefits spanning returns with reliability, demand with democracy, stability with sustainability, and growth with a green approach. So he told that if you want to invest, India is the main destination as it offers a range of benefits, and he gave examples of various benefits in the speech. He also understood the country's planned $1.5 trillion national infrastructure pipeline and other public works projects as an immense opportunity for trust fund managers looking to reap the best and the safest returns over a longer term for their principles. So he says that India is a perfect destination for the ones or for the investors who want best and also the safest property to invest. He gave the examples of two things: the 1.5 trillion dollar national infrastructure pipeline, and also other public projects. Seen in the context of the pressing need to revive investment, his exhortations tick all the right boxes. So, if we consider all of his speech was in the right direction, and it encouraged people to invest in India. As the RBI noted in its latest monetary policy report last month, investment already in contraction made since July September quarter in 2019 suffered a further massive pandemic shock. So, even before the pandemic started, even in the last quarter of 2019, the investment of India it was not looking good. When I say investment of India, I mean that the people who were investing in India. So those number of people were very less, and it was not looking good for India at all. And now when the pandemic started, it got even worse. Fixed investment, which almost halved in the first quarter of the current fiscal, continues to face an uncertain outlook given the weak consumption demand and excess capacity in most industries, especially when coupled with stretched balance sheets. The cramped business ability to borrow and invest, according to the RBI. So, as I said, even before the pandemic started, our economy was in huge loss. One of the main reasons for that can be the people who maybe the reason maybe the reason that there were a very less number of investors. So when the pandemic started, the investors even decreased. So because of that, even in the first quarter of this fiscal year, our investors were not looking good, and at this point, the situation aggravated so much. And the government's ability to apportion more funds for for growth spurring capital projects is hamstrung by is hamstrung by a fiscal deficit amid a protracted border standoff and health crisis, debilitating revenue shortfall. So one of the main goals of the central and even the state government of India have always been of developing their city states and so on. But for that they need so much money. In this fiscal year, we not only have the enough money, we don't even have the enough money, but we are also in a deficit. So we have spent more money than we can, and we are in a fiscal deficit. And where this fiscal deficit got even worse by these three situations: this pandemic, the health crisis which came by the pandemic, and also the demand which reduced during the pandemic, because people are only buying the goods which are necessary right now, right? So they won't be spending much on luxury goods, asserting that all sectors of the economy were looking up in the wake of the government's resolute tackling of the pandemic. Mr. Modi cited a 13% increase in the FDI flows in the first 2 months of the financial year as a reflective of the global investor community's confidence. So, Mr. Modi did not mention all this. He only I mean he did, but he mentioned this point more clearly. He told that the 13% of the FDI which India received was very high in the first 5 months of this year. So he did this because he wanted to increase the confidence of the investors so that they could believe more in our country. However, what he likely overlooked was that with almost three-fourths of 27 billion dollars of FDI equity inflows in that period being accounted for by stake acquisitions in a single large telecom company, a bulk of this investment is unlikely to manifest as new job creating factories or business. So, while he said that 13% of the FDI was very high in the first 5 months, he actually overlooked many things. One of them is this, which um, and this is basically he overlooked was that with almost three-fourths of the 27 billion dollar of equity FDI, so the the FDI which we have until now is 27 billion dollars, and almost three-fourths of that will not be spent. If we see the statistics, if we see the statistics, we will know that even almost three-fourths of that amount, it may not be spent for sure. As a former Chief Minister of Gujarat who aggressively solicited and won industrial investments, Mr. Modi is surely only too well aware that what investors crave most is regulatory certainty. Mr. Modi, before becoming the great Prime Minister of India, he has served as the Chief Minister of Gujarat. And one thing which he knows better than anyone is that he knows how to increase the confidence in investors, especially with the term regulatory certainty. He had made many solicits while he was holding the post of chief minister. Solicit means to ask for something. He has made many solicits of industrial investments, and he has won most of them. The Prime Minister needs to ensure that his assurance of stability is buttressed by actions that dispel investors' concerns over policy flip flops. So, he needs to ensure that the words which he is saying will be buttressed by India's actual situation. Buttressed means supported or encouraged. So, basically, it says that he wants the investors to know that what he's saying is not just some empty facts. What he's saying are real, and India is really capable of doing all that. Even as the centre is yet to clarify whether it will accept or challenge the tossing of its tax claim against Vodafone by an international arbitral tribunal, it separately last week enacted an ordinance to retrospectively amend the arbitration law, ostensibly to deal with contractions that may be underpinned by fraud or corruption. The rule changes in wholesale and online trade are another example of shifting goalposts. Mr. Modi has his task cut out. Make sure that investors are see him walk the talk. So all this basically says that India has been doing many investments. Some of them have failed, and most of them have succeeded, which uh, which provided some points for Narendra Modi to say at the virtual meeting. So by that he was able to convince the investors to invest in India. But the main thing now is that he needs to show that the investors he needs to show that he did the walk and talk. He does the walk and talk means what he's saying is not just what all the things which is saying are not going to be just empty facts. every single thing which he has said will turn out to be a true fact in the real life. And he said that everything what he said will surely happen, and you can have total faith and confidence in investing in India. Thank you.